The convenient ally crisis is what I want to call it. And this is a conversation I wish I never had to have. But the truth has a way, at least when Ramses and I have access to microphones, of demanding airtime, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it hurts. And this one has personally hurt me because some people that I love, I was going to say care about, but that's not enough. Some people that I love have kind of misaligned because what we're watching right now, this is not, I keep saying it's not just politics. It's, I mean, call it political, but political chaos, if anything. We've seen polarized politics before. This is not just polarization. This is not even just fear. It's the collapse of what we are now learning was a very, very convenient period of allyship. So let's talk about it. Black people specifically, black and brown, but black people specifically, for years, for decades, people have been dipping into our culture, but like a spirit Halloween store or a costume closet. They love our culture. Ramses once said, you got to tell me where you get this from, bro, but they love our rhythm. They hate our blues.
Couldn't tell you
Wearing
better.
black culture like a costume has become a thing, right? Our hairstyles, they want to wear them. Our slang, they want to use it. Our music, they play really loud. They dance like they grew up with us. And then we invite them to the cookout because apparently that's all you got to do to be down with us is do one of our dances. They buy the Jordans. They even post and retweet the quotes. You know what I'm saying? They put up the hashtags Black Lives Matter, Black Square on their IG page. But then the unexpected happened. Our country, because of this MAGA movement, hit a moral crossroads. You know, Black Lives Matter was a vibe. So everybody got down. Remember Target Rams? Billions of dollars they gonna spend. Remember that? It was
Yeah.
the move to be. We was the new movement to move with. Shout out to Juice McCain and everybody that once loved our rhythm. When the vibe went away and the obligation went away, they realized that they're terrified of our actual reality. Everybody who seemed to love us and that was riding with us, that had our backs, some of them even marched with us. Some that we even marched with and marched for. We stopped being an inspiration to them. And we went right back to being other, right back to being criminal, right back to being too much, too angry, too loud, too black. And sadly, we watched other marginalized groups who we rode for, who we marched for, who we fought for our entire history. All of a sudden, and not all, but too many, suddenly found a middle ground to hide out in, a both sides, a neutrality. Can't we all just get along? A stance that magically only gets used when we are the ones under the boot, when we are the ones that are bleeding or hurting or being vehemently oppressed. Convenient allyship, seasonal solidarity has consequences. You'd think that when oppression got worse, the solidarity would strengthen. But fear does something else to people. It's a fight or flight. And for most, it's flight back to where they feel safe. And in America, the number one safety blanket for all of this country's history is proximity to whiteness.
Whiteness. Yeah.
White LGBTQ people supporting the most anti LGBTQ leader in modern history because he's pro white. Immigrants holding rallies for a man who called them the poison to the blood of this nation. A difficult one for us was Palestinians refusing to vote for Kamala Harris because she was a part of the Biden administration. But watching as they abstained, an election swing to a man who said, and I quote, finish the job with regards to Gaza. White Christians siding with the man who lives the opposite of every teaching of Jesus Christ, except the part where he elevates whiteness to the center of the moral universe. People no longer vote their interest, they vote their identity. And identity in this country has always been arranged like a ladder. People would rather be on the low rung of the oppressor class than the high rung of the oppressed. And that's how hierarchy beats out humanity. Now, my clapbacks are typically on a clock, but I'm sure, as we are in separate studios, that my brother can see my face right now and knows that I have a little bit more to say. Because this is the part that doesn't always get said out loud. All of this is happening because America has never and probably will never confront or confess to or repair or repent from its original sin. It's acknowledged it. Once upon a time, it was legal for us to teach about it. Remember that, Rams?
Oh, yeah. Pre-2016?
About it. They even elected a black man to be president twice.
Mm-hmm.
And all of us felt like we made some progress. But my brother told me, reminded me that what didn't happen when we had that black president for 2 terms was reparations. Because there was no way this 2-party system where both parties are propped up on white supremacy, we're going to allow that to happen. The question, who's going to pay for it? Interesting fact. It would cost about $40 billion to end world hunger. To end hunger in the United States, about 20 billion. But some of those billions would go to black people, and they're not having that. They say, who's going to pay for it when it's something that we need? But you can Google this. We've sent over $300 billion to Israel. No one asked how we were going to pay for that. This country never repented. And without repentance, its infection has stayed alive for the entirety of the existence of this nation. They want to treat white supremacy and blatant overt racism like it's a ghost. It's not. It's more like a software update. It just needs a refresh, a re-download, a rebrand. Every generation has a new version of it, Rams. Remember Jim Crow?
Mm-hmm.
It had a 2.0. Remember the Southern Strategy?
Mm.
It got a 2.0. More recently, Stop Woke. Wow. It got a 2.0. Protect our borders. That's a racial code. Christian nationalism. Because white nationalism is too on the nose. And you can get Hispanic and Black and Asian Christians to sign up for the anti-everybody Christian program, because what would Jesus do? This country has refused to treat its infection. So the wound has just stayed open. And they tried to stitch it up and put a band aid on it, but the stitches are tearing, Rams. Hurt, scared people. And I'm using these words intentionally. My brother teaches me, or has tried to teach me, because I'm very, very reluctant to accept it, that people fear us. I charge it to hate, but let's go with fear. Because hurt, scared people look for shortcuts to safety. Ramsey and I have encountered Black folks that are fed up with the Democratic Party. So they've convinced themselves that, hey, since both sides are bad, I might as well pick the one that sounds confident. They mistook brash, macho volume for competence. They attribute strength to cruelty because they said it with such fervor. They mistook that for clarity. And white approval has given everyone a feeling of elevation. We watched immigrant groups sing and perform concerts for a person promising on day one to kick their families and their friends and their neighbors out of this country. Religious minorities believing that proximity to the conservative white Christian nationalist faith of this country would shield them, even as history has taught us it never does. So now we watch a country fall apart with people saying, well, at least I'm not them, and them being whoever's under the boot at the moment. That's not solidarity. For some people, that's survival. Divide and conquer, working hyper effectively once again. And the conquerors at this point don't even have to try very hard to divide. I told Ramses off air in a personal conversation that the entire world is less safe now because the coalition we thought we had never really existed. America told the world that it was the moral leader, inserting our bombs and our missiles in conflicts around the world in the name of morality, democracy, and freedom. But when tested, it divided exactly along the same lines that it pretended to have outgrown. White over black is where it always starts. It has graduated to native born over immigrant. And even immigrants are wearing that slogan now. Christian over Muslim. That way, Black Muslims and Black Christians against each other. Immigrant Christian, immigrant Muslim against each other. Straight over gay, one of their most masterful plays. Divide the marginalized, the most marginalized. Black people who don't support Black gay people. It should sound insane, but it works because it goes back to the Christian thing. Like they've weaved a web here. Citizen over refugee, privilege over principle. And because no true multiracial, multi-faith, multi-identity coalition has ever fully formed, they just pretended that's what this was. We've been too busy arguing over who gets to be liberated first. And the cruel ones who want to oppress us forever keep winning, unchecked, unchallenged, and now normalized. It's not a coincidence that has caused the world to be less safe. It's less safe because America is not the moral center. That collapsed under the weight of this unhealed history. This part breaks my heart, so forgive me. We didn't lose our allies.
Mm.
We just
Yeah.
lost the illusion that there was ever somebody in this fight with us. My brother tries with all that he can to insert hope into every conversation we have. And I want you to know, Rams, that that matters because it's kind of all I have to hold on to. The convenient allies have fallen away. Those who remain are the real ones. Those who don't disappear when whiteness calls. Those who don't abandon justice because it's expensive. The ones who know liberation is not a brand, it's a responsibility. Those people, look around. Some of them are still here and they're ready because every time this country cracks, people who truly believe in freedom step through that opening and build something stronger. My brother wants me to believe that this is not the end for us, as much as I feel that way. It's just an unveiling. And once you see this truth clearly, you can finally start to build something real. They say the truth is undefeated. That is really being put to the test this time.
Would you be mad at me if I kick this OJ story to tomorrow or something like that? Because I feel like I want to say some things here.
Please.
Um, I it's funny that our question we're supposed to ask is, would you choose to live forever? And I mean, I could answer it a number of ways because there's a number of reasons to choose anything. But I think that if I could live long enough to see the allyship that I've come to believe in really take shape and be successful, I think that that would do my heart a lot of good because I've invested a lot of heavy emotion into fighting for people. You mentioned that, some people can be flighty and when proximity to whiteness and whatever, the allure of that causes people to retreat. You started off by talking about Target. Every single company that had diversity, equity, and inclusion policies and rolled them back, every single one of them fits into the conversation you just had with our listeners. That was a soul crushing thing to witness. You know, there was no law that was passed. It was just Donald Trump got into office and they were like, you know what? We could get some more money if we just roll back these DEI policies. We saw black women suffer the greatest job losses in modern history. I mean, since, as far as I know, the greatest job losses ever.
Pre-compliance cowardice is what we saw.
Yes.
It was never even mandated.
So, if I was going to live forever, if there was a chance that I could see the world come together in a way that I believe is possible, that would be a forever I would pursue. I would pursue that sort of gift just to live in the reality where I guess I'd be stuck in that reality for in perpetuity, but it'd be nice to see us get where we deserve to be. Um, but there definitely was a soul crushing kind of realization that, as I mentioned, there's a such thing as fair weather friends, and I think for me in particular, the worst part about it is that I know that that's not it's not like how my heart is. You know what I mean? Like my heart is so much bigger than my body, and I'm like so fearless. And like I'll go to war if somebody need me to, somebody that deserves a champion. Like I'm just like that. And I just can't understand Target, why they just folded like a lawn chair. Everybody folded like a lawn chair. And then they started talking about, oh, we have black fatigue. What are you talking about? How hurtful. What a hurtful thing to say. How arrogant and entitled are you to even fix your mouth to say something so hurtful? You've never walked a day in anybody else's shoes. You've never had to carry the weight of the ancestors that fought and died young, often in terror, to bring about a reality where you even have the chance to fight for a better tomorrow for your grandchildren and their posterity. You cannot know. How dare you say black fatigue? You've made blackness a crime. You've made blackness a pejorative. This beautiful skin. Look at my hair. I love me, but you've made it hard for me to be me. And then you say to me that you're tired of me trying to make it easier to be me. So yes, I share your frustration, Q. Convenient allyship. Doing something because it's fashionable and because it doesn't inconvenience you. Oh, they're not walking on the freeway that I take to work. What of it? I think that inconvenient allyship is really the test of a human soul. What is the measure of your soul? What is the measure of a man? What is the measure of a woman? Like a real one. What does it look like when it's hard? Because it's hard for me all the time. I mean, I'm not going to go apples to apples with people that are in worse circumstances, black people in worse circumstances, but I've been black my whole life. I done chased my fair share of rats out of the bedroom, out of the bread bag. I done chased roaches out of the cereal bowl. I was born in super poverty. And I thought I was going to die. I thought the magical age for me was 20 because everybody I knew was dying in their teens. I didn't think 18 or 21 was a magical age, a special age. I was hoping that I could get to 20 because then I could like become an old man. You got black fatigue for real? How hurtful. How dare you say something like that? Who are you, God? How dare you? If you're going to stand with me, stand with me. Because if I was going to stand with you, I would stand with you. And I wouldn't fold because I know that I'm a man. I know how big my heart is. Do an autopsy on me when I die, and you'll see